What a great kick.
Oh, and Chad Townsend plays on. Plays to the whistle. Kicks away for Valentine Holmes. Cronulla's in again.
Wow.
Chad Townsend, brilliant.
Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Talk of the Town podcast. My name is Chad Townsend, and joining me today is a very special guest. And I don't know whether to call him teammate or ex-teammate, and that's Jayden Brailey. Welcome to the show, Bruz.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, well.
Ex-teammate, eh? He's quick to jump ships.
Is it November 1 yet?
Yeah, I know, I reckon. One more pay slip to go, and then I'm officially left the Sharks. So.
I'll tell you what, I'll be ripping and tearing into you next year. Don't come at me kick pressure because you'll get a knee to the head.
You know what's coming, mate.
All
This
right.
was us.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So you've signed with the Knights next year, mate. It's a big move.
Yep.
Mid-season. How did it happen? What happened?
Yeah, it's a big move. Like I've come to terms with it for a long time now, and but yeah, like I think you were one of the first people I told when it was all going down.
Yep.
Because I know that you've been through a similar thing in the past and probably at the exact same age. So yeah, you know, it was tough. Like I didn't really expect this to ever happen.
Yep.
Obviously junior boy here in the Shire, and I love the club and love the boys. So yeah, probably wasn't something I was expecting. But
yeah.
in saying that, like I've got everything set up there now, ready to go, and
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm so excited now.
And you touched on, obviously growing up in the Shire, like where did you play your footy at as a kid?
Aquinas Colts.
Aquinas
We used to
Colts.
bash Yarrawarrah Tigers every week. Eh?
Oh my goodness. Please, we used to pump Aquinas.
Different age groups. But, man, seriously.
But grew up in the Shire, obviously like love rugby league, like there's many kids out there in the Shire that love footy. Yeah, did you follow the Sharks when you were a young fella?
I didn't.
You didn't? Who'd you follow?
I was a massive Anthony Minicello fan.
No.
Roosters.
No.
I used to be a Roosters fan. I remember I went to the grand final in 2004
Yeah.
with my
Didn't they play their Warriors?
no, they played Penrith.
Penrith, yeah.
Penrith, yeah. Or Bulldogs.
Yeah, right, one of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they lost. Roosters lost, and me and my brother went there, full kitted out in full Roosters gear. And my mum was a hairdresser, gave us all a mohawk like a rooster, and spray painted our hair red, white, and blue.
I'd love to see a photo.
And I was in tears on the way home, going through KFC with my old man. So,
jeez.
yeah, I was a tragic Roosters fan, but then obviously coming through the system, I
Yeah.
always had a soft spot for the Sharkies.
And grew up and then played, junior reps, played Maddie's Cup, SG Ball.
Yep, I played. Didn't play Year Young Matthews Cup. Played
Yeah.
my proper age.
Yeah.
I was probably a bit of a late bloomer. I was pretty small as a young kid, and from there on, always been.
Have you always
in
played
the
hooker?
system. No, I've played a bit everywhere. I used to play back row.
Back row.
Used to cart it up, tough carry.
You used to take a tough carry.
Yeah, used to
I
take a
would
tough
love to
carry.
see you lay the line.
Played a
for
few
a
tough
carry.
carries this year actually, running off your hip.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
No,
A few
but-
times, I remember actually for people out there, right? Brailz come on, when we had a few injuries and he was playing lock, and he said to me during the middle of the game, Chatty hit me like I lay the line. And which kind of means like he's going to take a tough carry, like a hit up. And I was like, well, is he for real?
I remember that so clearly. I did it a couple of times. I don't know what it is. I just want to take a tough carry. And then the worst is Blake when he was on the field. I think it was against it was in Magic Round Thursday night
Titans?
against the Titans. And I come on. Actually, I was already on the field, and Blake come on, pushed me to lock, and we have that sort of that crash play on the try line, which is like the double shape with our front rows and middles.
Yeah.
And Blake sort of gave me this look, and I said, I'm on here. And he hits me, and Jair's just come from my right and just cleaned me up. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing that again. I'm not cut out for this.
Oh, no, that's mad. All right, so we'll go back to the Knights, and so your first time, I guess, moving out of home, and moving away from your family, moving up the coast to Newcastle. Like, how's that all been? Moving your life up there.
Yeah, it's been really good. Frustrating at times because I've really got no idea in terms of. I got no idea with
I can relate to that.
setting up gas, electricity.
Yeah, how'd you go with it all?
Hot water, getting all my everything in the house, like lounge furniture and all
Yeah.
that. Oh, it's all done now.
Yeah. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big move
yeah.
though. Like, you know, moving out of home for the first time.
Yeah, and obviously seeing all the numbers pop
Yeah.
in front of you with all the bills.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Being-
Lily, you got a 50-50, you got to split it here.
Nah, it's more like you pretty much like you're responsible for your
Yeah.
whole life now.
Yeah, 100%. And
Where like obviously you've had the help of your family and things like that, but you know, had everything sort of gone smooth sailing since you've moved up?
yeah, smooth sailing so far. Oh, a couple of hiccups here and there, but yeah, smooth sailing. It's been smooth sailing now. Like we're in actually a really good spot.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Merriweather.
Yeah.
Close to the beach,
Close to
and
the beach, beautiful.
it looks like it's a similar lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, but I actually start training on November the 6th. So
Yeah.
it's in 2 weeks yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's not long to go now, and like I'm just so excited. But in terms of smooth sailing, I've got I've been waiting to tell you a story, Chatty.
Oh, here we go.
I wanted to get your real reaction here on the podcast because I knew I was coming on here. It's something.
Well, tell me.
yeah,
Is this
so-
the Talk of the Town exclusive?
Oh, this is exclusive. this is breaking.
Yeah.
So I moved in on the 14th, Tuesday,
Yep.
and that was when I was getting the keys to the unit. I had to sign the papers, and obviously I don't know the roads up there. And I come off the freeway. I was going
The
110.
F6? F6?
I don't know.
I'm sure you'll
sure.
know anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Not
Sorry.
good with my roads. Clearly in a second, but come off the freeway, obviously going 110 for the last 2 hours on the highway, and I come straight into a 50 zone, and I didn't know at the time it was a 50 zone, and I'm driving along, and I see this copper on the other side of the road in the opposite direction, flying, right, with his lights on. I'm like, oh, geez, someone's in trouble. Like that, and I'm driving, look at my speedo, and I'm over the limit. And then I just see him do this massive U-ey, and sure enough, pulls me over, and I'm just like, oh, you've got to be
Heart
kidding.
sank.
Yeah, heart sank, and I'm obviously swearing the Lux in the car with Lily sitting there. And he winds down the window, and he was a bit of a typical cop. He was pretty harsh, and it was a bit funny with me. And he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Mate, I'm so sorry. Like I lapse of concentration. I've been going 110 on the freeway up from Sydney.
Don't know these roads.
Don't know these roads. I had no idea it was 50, and the speed I was going didn't feel that quick compared to when you're going that fast for 2 hours." And he goes, "What, are you in a rush to be somewhere?" I said, "Oh, literally around the corner from picking the keys up. I'm just moving up here from Sydney. I just signed a contract with the Newcastle Knights, so
I
I'm moving
love
up here
that.
for the next 2
I
years."
love that.
Little subtle drop. He's okay, leave it with me. Goes back to his car, and I wind back down the window as he comes back, and I said, "Oh, hey, how'd you go?" He goes, "Oh, hey mate, look, I'm actually a tragic Sharkies fan," and simultaneously handed me the ticket and said, "This is due in about 3 weeks." And I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Like, short memory, short memory, and it gets better. Sure enough, it gets better. So that happened, and I was obviously rattled, absolutely rattled. And I'm going. So I've got the keys. I'm going to the unit. It's in a funny spot, and there's a lot of blocks around the unit. And I finally, after about 15, 20 minutes of searching for where it was, doing laps around the place, me and Lily finally get in there. And we were both just so excited because we walk in. It's such a nice unit, and it was our first time actually seeing it because a night staff member up there
Oh, cool.
sorted it out,
Yeah,
helped us
beautiful.
out.
Yep.
And I'm straight on the FaceTime to my mum and dad. I'm going, "How good's this? Look at this." I'm showing them the bedrooms, the hallway, the living room, and Lily's going nuts too. And then Lily goes, by the way, Lily's my girlfriend who's moving in with me.
Yep.
And Lily goes, "Oh, look, there's a balcony too, and it looks over the bowling green." And I'm like, "Oh, this just gets better." And I walk outside, and Lily walks out behind me, and shuts the door.
Oh no!
Right, and at this same time, I'm on the FaceTime mum and dad, and Lily looks at me, and I think her heart dropped. Her feeling was the same as how I felt in the car half hour earlier. And I go, "Oh, you've got to be kidding!" We were locked outside on the balcony, right, within the first 5 minutes of being there. Once again, I was blowing up. I was like, "You're an idiot, bro." And then I had to call the real estate. I'm like, "Oh, look, I'm so sorry. We've locked ourselves out in the first 5 minutes. Can you come and collect us?" So 20 minutes later, she rocks up and lets us out.
Oh my
But
goodness!
honestly, I was just let's just say
First 5
I was
minutes.
rattled. So it wasn't smooth sailing, but it's all in place now. And it's so funny. I've learnt my lesson pretty quick. So yeah, great stats.
Yeah, I love that, and I don't like. I think back to I was 23 when I moved out of home and moved to the Warriors, and it was it's kind of similar. Obviously moving out of home for the first time, being responsible for like bills, electricity, and for me it was even like moving to New Zealand. Like I was getting paid in a different currency.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so that was like a little bit of a wake up and things that you kind of need to adjust to, and then like obviously my life was back in Sydney, so quite often I'd have to organise would I transfer money, exchange rates, etc., things like that.
Yeah, that would have been
it was something to keep on top of, and it wasn't as tough, but it was still obviously a challenge for someone moving out for the first time, and things like that. So obviously moving to the Knights, like it's almost like going to school for the first time. Yeah, isn't it? Going to training, like
real weird.
What do you think about that? Do you think looking forward to meeting all the boys?
I know a couple boys.
Yeah,
a little bit obviously.
Yeah,
Eddie Lee.
Yeah, Edric Lee.
Edric Lee. I've obviously played in the past with him, and I've met Mitch Pearce before in 2018 over in Bali. I bumped into him, and he was unreal bloke.
He's a legend of a bloke.
Yeah,
Mitch Pearce, yep.
He recognised who I was, and we had a few beers together, which was good. That was the year earlier. So I've met Guerra over in Bali, and that's about it. But like I think we're pretty lucky. Like it's not like you're going into a
seems like it's a really good bunch of boys.
Yeah,
and up at Newey.
It's probably a bit easier than if you're going like an office job or something like that, because you're around each other every day and you're doing things that's active and team bonding.
It doesn't really take that long to sort of immerse yourself and get amongst it. Hey,
100%
with new teammates, but
everyone's probably I think everyone in rugby league's similar sort of personalities. And enjoy the same things. So where everyone's active. So I don't think it'll take too long to
definitely
get to know the boys.
So like you signed mid-year and you signed when Nathan Brown was the coach, right? And then like everyone, I guess, understands or knows what happened towards the end of the year. Nathan Brown and the Knights, I guess, parted ways if that's what happened. But Nathan Brown's not coaching anymore. So you've signed a contract to play under the old coach, and now the Knights have just signed a new coach, a young first-time NRL coach, Adam O'Brien, who spent a lot of time at the Melbourne and just recently been a part of the Roosters' successful premiership winning season. And he's, had a great coaching career so far. First time, being a head coach, and got huge raps on him. Have you made contact with him yet? Yeah,
he. I caught up with him for coffee with him and his wife earlier on the weekend, just before the weekend. So I was a little bit nervous, to be honest, especially because he touched on the Nathan Brown.
Because it can kind of, for people out there, it can kind of go either way. The incoming coach can either be really happy with the signing, or
not being his plans.
Not being his plans. So I mean, it's awesome, and I knew it would work out for you. I knew that he would be really happy that you're there, and but he was seemed like a good fella.
He is. I just put the mind at rest.
Yeah, that's good.
Everything that he said was exactly lined up with what I'm looking for and what's good for me and what I want to be a part of as well. So obviously he said he had 12 years at the Storm.
Yeah, wow.
And one at the Roosters, and I said, geez.
You can't get a better resume than that,
Oh, God, no. Like 12 years, previous 12 years at the Storm.
Under Craig Bellamy,
with the players they've had and the era they've had.
Yeah,
wow. I think it's just crazy that he hasn't had a head coach.
But he's ready to go. He's ready to go, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
And I won't go into too much detail, but just a lot of his plans, and he kept it a lot about me with what he wants from me.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
And everything that he said, as I said, was just put my mind at rest at least, and made me even more excited to
ready to go
get into training.
For sure. All right, well, let's take it back. I want to take it back to a trip where you pretty much, you call it your debut for the Sharks. Well, it wasn't your NRL debut, but It was the World Club Challenge
Yep.
in 2017. So after the 2016 season, Michael Ennis obviously retired, went out, won the grand final, which left a vacancy at the Sharks in the hooker role. And you had done the pre-seasons over the number of years and were coming into pretty much, that hooker position. And you sort of battled it out over the off-season with a few other players, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was New Brown. I think Mortimer was hanging around.
Yeah, so you had to work hard. Didn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
And then, pretty much we finished sort of off the pre-season and got on the trip or the flight to the World Cup Challenge. And how were you when you found out you were on the plane, you were heading over?
Oh, I definitely didn't expect it. Because obviously it was a big focal point of our pre-season. Everyone was preparing for that. And we had trials before that against Broncos. I think that was a bit of a hit out to test who they were going to take over. And I remember they pulled me in the office and I remember sitting down there. It was Pricey, it was Fano, and I think Shep was there as well. There was a few others. And anyway, they go, "Oh, we don't want to say it's a Steve Bradbury case." But I was like, thanks. But then they go, "Oh, no. Like, you've worked really hard to get this spot. You're more than ready for this. And you've obviously ripped into pre-season for the last 2 years." So Flanner just said, like, he's got a lot of faith in me to go out there and do the job and gave me a plan to go out there and do. And that still didn't sell the nerves, especially how big the occasion was, and to be put in your first game in a crowd like that, it was you'll be able to tell yourself.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me. Like, we obviously, we arrived to the game pretty late. We got stuck in a lot of traffic, and we only had about half an hour to get ready, didn't we? It was pretty crazy.
We got hammered by traffic. Yeah, I think we're on the bus for an hour at least.
Yeah,
and it wasn't that far from our hotel, so that threw a spanner in the works. But we didn't have a whole lot of time to get ready and get our head around the game. But just being out there on that field was, like, to this day, I don't think there's been a crowd
atmosphere.
Yeah.
I remember obviously, I remember thinking, it's going to be cold, and I remember running out for warm up, and it actually wasn't too bad. It was pretty crisp. It was nice. It's fresh air, and all of a sudden, you just the chance of just starting straight away. And we didn't play that well at that game, didn't we? Which was probably, I look back on it now and I'm filthy. Like, hey, imagine we won that game.
100%.
Oh,
like, you don't, like, those sort of games don't come around very often. And a lot of people don't get to play in those games. So,
exactly.
I don't want to look back one day and say, geez, my first game was a massive missed opportunity, because, hopefully I am at that point again.
Another time,
But even with the weather, like, one thing I remember was, obviously, Super League, their in-goals are a lot shorter.
So short.
A lot shorter. So it would have been pretty tough for you with your kicking game.
Yeah, definitely.
You would have been aiming for the 10-metre line almost. But and the grass was, I remember it was really short.
Short, yep.
And it made it like an ice rink.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard to play on and get a grip with the field. And that were a lot of the, and I remember there, because I started the game, and New came off the bench, and then Flanner put me back on to finish the game. And I remember I think they were 2 tries ahead of us at this stage. It was like the 70, in the last 5 minutes of the game. I remember standing there, and just we were standing in front of the whole Wigan crowd, and they were saying, "Sharks, oh shit." Sharks, oh shit. And they were just chanting it. So in their barmy army.
Yeah, like behind the try line.
Behind the try line.
Hey,
in that stand.
I remember that.
I remember standing there just going, holy dolly. Like, this is just.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember they scored a try on us, and we would, there's no way we could come back and win the game. And we're standing there, and they were just so loud. And then I remember after the game, like, they did the presentation, and the Wigan fans, like, they were so respectful towards us. They clapped us, and then we actually, went over to some of the Sharks fans and sort of, I guess, clapped them and said hello to all of them. And then I remember walking past the rest of the Wigan fans, and they were like clapping us. Yeah. And then I was just like, thank you. Like, you guys put on, an amazing atmosphere. Like, I was more than happy to just thank the crowd, like, because it was, once in a lifetime opportunity to play at DW Stadium in Wigan. But I guess, we'll go back to sort of Mickey Ennis, and he did obviously finish as a grand final winner and had a pretty awesome career. Did he sort of help you in your transition to NRL? Help you out?
Yeah, 100%. He was a massive help with me. Just even off the field, like with the media stuff he does with us, and on the field, like he's definitely like a winner. He goes to Canberra this year and he gets he assists them to help them get to the grand final. So
such a competitor,
he's a competitor, and I just soaked in everything I could. And in the 2 or 3 years, I was lucky enough to have something to do with him. So, but he's a really good person as well. Like I know everyone raves on about the bloke he is, and everyone sees him as the what he does on the field and how he gets under people's skin and all that. But I've said it a couple of times. But when I broke my jaw in 17, he was one of the first people there in hospital.
Yeah, wow.
To see me, and I was at this stage.
That's incredible.
This was straight away after it happened, so I've still got all blood on my face and whatever. My jaw. I'm sitting there. I can't talk, and he was one of the first people there with my family. So with Shane Smith as well, which was our welfare guy.
That's incredible.
Football manager at Sharks. So I was a bit like, oh wow, like you teach me all these things in football, but you have the time to leave your Fox duties as soon as you can and be here with me. So that was a big thing that stuck by me as well.
Yeah, I remember I've got this story about Mick Ennis. I remember my last season at the Warriors, right, 2015, and I had already signed to play at the Sharks for 2016. And anyway, we were coming up against the Sharks and we were playing at Mount Smart Stadium, and it was Warriors scrum feed to our scrum feed. Anyway, so all the forwards are sort of standing where the scrum is, and Mick Ennis has the ball. So I walk over to Mick Ennis to grab the ball from him, and he holds the ball out, and I go to grab it, and then Mickey just gets it and just throws it behind his back and just sort of death stares me and just looks at me in the eyes. And I'd already signed to come back to the Sharks, so he knew we were obviously teammates for next season. And then he just threw it behind his back and just death stared me, and then just walked over to the scrum. And that minute I knew that, I sort of had a bit of a laugh to myself, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love that."
Did you joke around about that?
Yeah, I spoke to him the following season about it, and he's just like, "Oh mate, like I don't even know," like just sort of flopped it off like it was nothing.
It's a weekly occurrence for him. He's got enough, can't remember anything.
I remember actually when in the grand final of 2016, Korobidi clocked me on the chin, and then first person in with Mickey Ennis straight into it, like got Korobidi in a headlock straight away. And I was just like, I love that, Mickey, get into it. And then someone ripped his headgear off. And
I remember saying that,
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, next year at the Knights, obviously moving into, new team, new coach, it's pretty much like a new era for the Knights. Like, have you got, personal goals, like anything you kind of want to tick off, or that you think, where do you see the Knights for next year?
Like, I think individually, for me personally, like I want to play really good football, and realistically, like it's like if I play outstanding football, like it's still going to be extremely difficult, I feel, to play some rep football with Cook there. I feel like he's really owned that position now, and I think it's going to be hard for them to not pick him anyway, if that makes sense. And but for me, I just want to be playing really good football, so my name's getting thrown about in the mix, and I'm up there. So if something, touch wood or hypothetically, something was to happen to Cook in the year, my name would still be up there as a contender with Cam McGuinness and whoever else is there. So that's sort of how I want to be.
Do you see yourself playing 80 minutes at the Knights?
100%.
Yeah, you want to play 80 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, and Adam O'Brien sort of touched on that as well. He doesn't like subbing his dummy halves. So hopefully I can do that next year. And I feel like that's how I play my best football. I like being in the game for long periods, and rather than being the other style that's like the impact sort of player. So and there's also like a lot of different little things I want to bring into my game next year and just keep improving, but I also don't want to miss out on my first final series as well. And I know that the Knights are really passionate about getting back into the finals, and like I just want to do my bit to give them the best chance of playing finals football. So, but same token again, like we made finals this year, but I still feel a bit empty about our season.
100%, I do too.
And I don't want to just make the finals. Like I still want to
Go deep.
like 2018. That was a great year. I felt I really enjoyed that.
Same.
Playing in the prelim, like
Yeah.
I feel like that was a really successful year.
Definitely, I agree.
But even 2017 and 2019, like I was just like, yeah, we made finals. That's great, but
Yeah, you
It's
kind of
enough.
expectations raised, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
You know what I
do.
mean? And you want to go even further. But
Exactly,
all
yeah.
right. So let's talk about outside of footy. What do you do with your spare time?
Outside of footy, I've got a uni degree there that's sort of sitting there. I'm really close to finishing it in sports science,
Yep.
exercise sports science.
Yeah, cool.
Um,
Do it slowly, like one
yeah,
subject at a time.
when I was in 20s, I knocked off 2 years full time.
A lot of athletes do that. Hey,
Yeah.
once they go fully professional, then turn it back down to sort of one subject.
Yeah, it's hard. Like especially, I feel the second semester of the year is even harder. And I've actually finished all my semester 1 units. I've just got year 3, semester 4 units. I've got 4 subjects to go, and but it's just hard because that's when finals is on. I could say a holiday period, so it's
Yeah.
always hard to
Yeah.
sort of commit to it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
maybe I can sort of tick that off next year or potentially the year after. So
Yeah, beautiful.
and then hopefully down the track I can become a school teacher or PE teacher or even a sport, like work in the strength and conditioning.
Yeah,
So
nice.
that'd be pretty cool. But yeah,
What about hobbies?
Hobbies?
What are you into?
Similar to you, except different levels. Golfing.
Golfing. So who would you say is the best
36
golf?
handicap.
Who's the best golfer in the club?
Oh, Shawnee. Tickets. Nah, you'd be up there for sure.
not up. I'd be
there's a
second.
crew. There's a crew that's like the top 3 would be Wade, you,
Yeah.
and Sean.
Yeah.
Wade
Wade's 1, I'm 2, Sean's 3. Sean's never beaten me. And I want to put that out there. Sean's
did
never
a
beaten
bite back there from Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand actually.
Yeah,
He
so
hasn't
you can
beaten
back
me.
it up.
I can back it up. But yeah, it's I don't really. I couldn't tell you where the ball's going before I hit it. Let's hope for the best. Try to get a clean connection.
So what's your downfall in golf? Is it driving? Is
my
it putting?
driving.
Is it chipping? Is
Short game is on.
it on?
Short game is on.
What about long
Right.
game?
Long game, no good. Like
Off.
my driving off.
Slice? Just a big slice or a big hook?
It changes. Every time it changes. Like I played, it's so weird. The other day I played and I was shanking them to the right, but then every other time I got to compensate for like this crazy hook. So I don't know what it is. If it's like my mobility or something. Like
36 handicap.
36 there. Seriously, it's actually hard to keep it to 2 over every hole. It's actually really difficult. But nonetheless, like I'd be playing absolutely awful, but I'd have like 4 or 5 shots, which I'm just absolutely stoked with, and that gets me back every time. And surfing as well, and obviously growing up in Cronulla and in the Shire, and going up to Merewether as well. I'm going to be surrounded by the beach and waves and that. So
Yeah. That'd be
and I'm definitely a much better surfer than a golfer.
Have you had any birdies on the golf course?
Yeah. 100%. I got that
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Actually, on
Plenty of
the
those.
Woolware hole 16 on the whoever's listening, they'd know. And if they know the Woolware golf course, the water hole,
Par 3 over the water.
par 3 over the water,
Yeah,
and
right.
I was playing with a mate of mine who's my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, and we always test ourselves on that hole.
Yeah.
And I hit the ball unreal, and I'm watching it.
What club did you hit?
It was a 8-iron.
8-iron.
8-iron. Yeah,
It's
it was a
only
bit further
short.
back. The
Oh.
cones was a bit further back.
Was the pin up the back?
Pin up the back, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the way at the back, it was a bit further back.
Yeah.
And he goes, "That's in." Joel goes, "That's in. And I go, nah, that's not in. nah. And it bounces, and we're seeing it rolling close to the pin, and it just disappears. And we both just looked at each other, and we go, "No." And we had a cart, a buggy, and he ran over the cart. I didn't even wait for that. I've already bolted, all right? I've just ran straight for the green as quick as I can, and I'm running, and I'm looking at the hole at the same time, and it was like literally about 15, 20 centimetres away from the pin.
Jeez.
I don't know why I lost it. I don't know what happened there. But then I birdied it.
Oh.
But thank God
Jeez,
I
lucky.
put the 3-putt away. Nailed it.
You're good for the 3-putt, eh?
I'm great for a 3-putt. At the best of times, so.
Oh, and you touched on moving to Merewether. Like, how far away from the beach is your apartment?
Yeah, so it's 800 metres.
Oh, really?
800 metres from the
jeez.
beach.
It's like almost similar lifestyle to Cronulla, like close to the beach, Plenty of cafes and things
Yeah.
like that. Like, it'll be a good spot.
it's weird. It's like it's real quiet during the week, like from what I know so
Yeah.
far. Like it's really quiet on the weekdays, but on the weekend it's chockers. Like it's real hard to find car spots, but geez, the Esplanade up there, it's unreal. They've got great cafes up there, and I think I'm pretty. I think it's almost like a blessing in disguise. Almost being able to refresh myself going up there and
Yeah, for sure.
going to a nice, a similar nice area as well. So I'll have to get back into my surfing too.
Yeah, righto. All right. Well, you're pretty much like you're 4 years into your career now, and I've got this question for you, pretty much based around like finance and financial goals. Like, what would you, I guess, like give if there was a kid coming into his NRL, making his NRL debut, he was just about to start his career. Like, what advice would you give to that person about like making smart decisions with your money?
Obviously try and surround yourself with people doing the right thing. Like obviously, everyone knows we're a short window, but you're like my financial advisor almost. Every single decision I make, I come to you because I know you've been smart, But
I
know you've been really smart with what you've done.
But I did that when I was a kid. Like I used to, like the guy I always used to ask questions to was Luke Lewis. Luke Lewis was, made some really good decisions, and I just used to ask him everything. And he would just say, mate, you need to do this. You need to get yourself around trust professionals, build get a good accountant, get a good financial planner. Make some decisions. You've only got a short window. You need to make the most of it. You need to save your money, things like that. You know what I mean? It's important, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I'll probably do the same now. Like it's like a little trail on the
Yeah, it's good.
Young kid coming up.
Definitely.
When I go up to Newcastle, they might ask for help, and I'll just help them because
100%.
I've got the knowledge now, and or at least a much better knowledge, and. I like to think I've started off really well. I've got little goals in place.
Yeah, good.
Over the next few years, but I obviously want to be able to obviously set myself up, and I've invested in a couple of things, and
awesome.
Like I've also grown a bit of interest in it as well, and trying to learn as much as I can, and just being smart.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on, and it's time to sort of dish a bit of dirt on your ex-Sharks teammates.
Be good,
and my current Sharks teammates.
All right, let's go.
So I kind of got to be careful what I say because I'm seeing these guys every day. You're not seeing these guys.
Oh, you'd be right. They don't care. Get into them. No holds barred.
All right. So the first question for you is the most annoying Sharks teammate and why?
No secret. No secret. Capes.
Kurt
Capes. Potential ex-teammate for you too.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure what he's doing yet. He's probably up there with the number one free agents at the moment.
He is. Yeah,
I can't believe he hasn't got a gig yet.
I don't understand.
18th man for
best
Queensland.
year. No, best year last year, but I think it's just all like the cap space dramas with him at the moment, and
he'll be right. He'll be an asset to anyone.
Yeah.
But I agree. Most annoying
case, but funny enough, he's probably one of the blokes I hang out with the most.
Yeah.
So he's just as good as a good bloke, but he's bloody annoying at times. I think he idolised Luke Lewis. I think he'll back me up.
Yes.
He idolised Luke Lewis and all that, because most annoying Luke Lewis would be there, but no longer there. So
no longer there.
KP's just taken up the reins.
KP, he's like, he's such a ball of energy, like out there, that never hides any emotion. You can just read on his face if he's happy or sad. He's
100%.
He's always up to little tricks, and
he rides the waves.
Rides the wave, and he's
nothing seems to worry him too much. So he's always
nothing. He's always really happy. Isn't he? Yeah.
If something bad happened, like you just go to Capes and he goes, "Nah, it's not that bad, man. Like, come on." Like he always makes light of every situation, which is a good thing.
All right, so I'll move on to the funniest Sharks teammate.
Besides myself, I'd say
you're not that funny.
Probably Boogs.
Yeah,
I reckon. Like he's doesn't talk a whole lot, but he's quality over quantity, 100%. Like 100%. When he opens his mouth, everyone either listens to what he says or just laugh at what he says, because his dry humour is outstanding. I think the best was this year. So on our lockers, our lockers we got like a portrait photo of ourselves, and it's a big photo.
Yep.
To scale almost, and I remember Boogs put tape sunnies or something over his eyes or something. And like these speed dealers, like they were like these 7-Eleven sunnies. That was like unreal. And like he used to put tape over boys that were balding and do all that sort of stuff, all the hairlines and
I'll back that up. Bulls is definitely the funniest teammate I've come across, and like even like random like things with Bulls. Like he'll rock up to train in like middle of winter in like matching tracksuit, like matching tracksuit bottoms and top and beanie, and it's like he's just like walking in like a snob, like what are you looking at? And everyone else is laughing, going kits, and he just doesn't care at all. I'm like, that's just classic Bulls. I think it's freaking hilarious. All right, so what about the biggest tight ass?
I think it's well documented, pretty well known. Old Galza squeezing the lemon, squeezing every last bit of his career. 40 going on 40.
Squeezing the lemon.
Squeezing the lemon. He's up there. Like, it'd be the best. Like, he'd go.
No.
If
we're at lunch, he'll ring you.
Yeah, he rings me.
Brailz, can you order us this?
Or the best was like, I'd be in the physio room, like on the Trigo rolling, getting ready for training, and you asked me to go and get him a coffee. And I'm like, mate, I'm sitting right next to you. You go get yourself your own coffee, mate. Like, it's only like a 50-meter walk. But I think he always does it because I'm the young bloke trying to pick on me. But there's younger blokes than me.
Yeah,
I'm like, go get with the times, mate. I should be doing it now.
He's been getting into you for years.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like he does that because he likes you.
For sure.
But tell me, just on the topic of Gal, like tell me, like, was it the trip we went to Wellington and you had to carry his bag?
Oh, yeah.
tell me that quickly.
How did I?
Was it first bag to come out?
Oh, yeah, no. We're doing... Yeah, that's right. We did scissors, paper, rock.
Scissors, paper, rock. For who had to carry the other person's bag to the bus?
Yeah, so I...
best of three?
It was best of three, yeah. And so we just got to Wellington. It was freezing. And a pretty decent flight. And we get there and Gal goes, Brailz, we do scissors, paper, rock for who has to take our bag. I'm like, this would be good. Like, Gal's taking my bag around. This would be outstanding. And... it was best out of three, and in my head, I've actually been watching him for the last 3 or 4 games of rock paper scissors. Every time studying it, and it's in the memory bank. Every time he goes rock, every single time, without fail. Right? Funny enough, he actually set me up. Galza has a brain. and he goes. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going paper. He's going rock. And he goes scissors, and I'm like, So I'm like, then it was 1-0, and then he got me straight away on the next one. And I'm like, you're kidding, and I was just off it because I was like, all the boys are gonna get into me saying, Gal, Gal, I'll take your bag. Yeah. So funny enough, I had to take the bag and I took it to the bus, but. Seriously, he always tries to pick on me and get me all the time, but that's just like one of the occasions.
I remember that story. I remember I was laughing. I saw you carry his bag, and then Gal was just laughing his head off. That was funny.
Off it. I was like, Gal, seriously, you can't carry anyone else's luggage in through the airport. I don't know what's in there.
You pack your own bag. All right. Well, I'll move on to the next one, and it's the cleanest teammate.
Cleanest?
Yeah. That's hard. I feel like that's a hard question.
Yeah, it is a hard one.
In a locker room full of men.
Yeah. Sorro's pretty clean. Sorro's pretty clean, but
Sorro's got his own soap.
Yeah,
he
does too. Yeah.
Moisturising lotion, cologne, deodorant. There's some boys
go in there and suss it out.
Some boys that don't even have freaking deodorant in their lockers. Makes me sick.
Yeah.
But
Blake's pretty clean as well.
Yeah.
Probably because I live with him and I compare it to my room.
Yeah. Boogie always uses my towel. Like he's next to me and I'm like, it's the worst. It's my pet hates.
Mate. That does my absolute head in.
Talking about using someone's towel, and I know you're thinking of it straight away right here. But I remember Gal would always use your towel, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Gal without fail, because Gal wouldn't do extras because he's obviously going on 40.
Yeah,
and
so you would come off on the field like last, and Gal would always be in, like, say he's in the ice bath or something like that, doing other things.
Ice bath, and like there's a bit of there's a bit of ringworm going around the club at the time from the young blokes bringing it in. And so I was already off it, and I just don't touch my towel. And Gal always goes through my bag and tries to get my towel before anyone else. And Gal, you know yourself, Gal's had a towel there from when he debuted. New South Wales Blues one.
2001. Gal debuted and used the same towel his whole career for 20 years. Jack Williams will contest that.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Jack Williams knows about that. We always have a laugh about it.
And anyway, I got fed up with it one day. And I was actually not happy about it. I was cut.
God.
And so it got to the point where I was hiding my bag in different areas every single day. and he'd still managed to find it. So one day he was out or something, and he was out at lunch, and I got back just before gym, and I put Denka rub all through his undies through the middle section. Yes. Right, I had to put gloves on. I'm not touching that. Right, and I put it all around like the neck of his singlet, and his all around his singlet. And he put it on and he was just filthy. Like he come to training and put one of those coloured bib ons. He got off Dino, which is our kit guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was off it, but didn't stop him. He continued to use it. So,
that's crack
you
up.
don't want to push him too far because he'll get you back 10 times as worse.
He goes to extreme lengths. Yeah. And there's a story that I remember off the top of my head that I'm not going to go into right now because it's probably not range for the podcast. No. But that'll take us on to like the next question. That's like the dirtiest teammate. And like we've already spoken about Gow. Gow would definitely be up there. Yeah.
Yep.
But who else do you reckon?
On the
dirtiest.
On the topic of ringworms. Shawnee?
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, no, he had a couple.
Shawnee's up there. And why I say Shawnee is because like there'll be times where we finish a session and we come off the field and Shawnee's just doesn't shower, just goes home.
Yep. You wouldn't think so because like if you look at him, like he looks pretty
clean
well
cut.
Presented.
Yeah.
He's always got like good hair.
Yeah.
Good fashion.
Yeah.
But he doesn't shower.
Just doesn't shower.
Just stinks. Just I can't get too close to him.
And then, all right, the next one was the worst dress sense.
Worst dress sense. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on him today.
You are.
Gowser.
Gowser. Why? Is he wearing below? He still wears below the knee boardies, eh?
He wears dad kit.
A 40-year-old dad. That's all right.
40-year-old dad kit. He wears the V-neck.
The V-neck.
And the
athletic hands
and the knee boardies that cover your knees. So, Jimmy Maloney had those.
Jimmy Maloney used to wear bloody below the knee boardies, and like the Bonds singlet, the navy blue Bond singlet below the knee boardies. $4 Those two, and then even like Dukes wears some cool kit, but there's some kit that Dukes wears. The nubbies undies.
Dukes wears these.
You and him had a few run-ins about kit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was next to each other? Locker? Was it next to each other?
Oh, pretty much. They had one between. I think Ronaldo was between us, but Dukes used to always wear these. I think he got them for free. I hope so. I want to cop it round one next year. Anyway, I think you used to have these red trackies that were like skin tight. They're like red BSE skins, and I used to just hammer him all the time. And he used to hammer me about my stuff, and it was funny. Like every day we had a good laugh about it, but. I always let him hear about it.
Yeah, that's funny as. All right, so best dressed teammate, you reckon?
Shawnee.
Yeah.
Shawnee best dressed. Even though he smells. Yeah. I think Shawnee's best dressed sense.
Yeah, I reckon. I'd back that up. Yeah. He's got some pretty cool style.
Yeah.
Wears some pretty cool things.
Everyone wears like similar stuff. Like everyone wears like your Adidas kit, your Puma kit. Nike.
Yeah, whatever. Sort of whatever you line yourself with, whatever boots you wear. Plenty of the boys get given kit, so that's usually the main kit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. We'll move on to the next topic, and that is your ear, cauliflower ear.
Oh yes. Let's not go into that.
How did it happen?
Let's just say from now on, I need photos from my left side. Right, I can't go on my right. Yeah, so
just lucky you got headphones on today.
AirPods would have been in trouble. Actually, if I wear AirPods now, like when I just finished football, I'd wear AirPods. Like I was on the plane going overseas, and I took AirPods out, and there was my ear was bleeding. Like there was blood on the AirPod. So like my ear can't take much more. Like imagine 10 years time, I'm like a bloody UFC fighter.
Wow.
Except I can't fight.
Can you remember the first time you got trauma to the ear?
So it first started in under 20s, but it was like I'd go to bed every night and I couldn't sleep, put my head on that pillow, and it used to get like really hot, my ear, and it used to get really swollen, and then it just gradually got worse because my preferred shoulder is my right shoulder, and I feel like I can produce bigger force out of my right shoulder.
Yep.
So sometimes I kind of put players on my right shoulder, just naturally, and so that's
pretty common across every NRL player to put that out there. Yeah.
So that's probably why I obviously cop a lot more blows to the ear, a lot more than my left, and I remember there was a game actually the week before Storm. So we had a storm, which is when it really blew out. But the week before that, I got it drained. So what they do is they put a needle in your ear and they try and take the blood out of it, and usually get about 15 mils out of it of blood, or they can cut it open fully and they just get it out with like a pimple, which is a bit more full on. But yeah, it's against the Storm. I got a really bad knock to the ear because the week before I punctured it, and all this blood started rushing into my ear, and it blew out like a balloon. Like it was like my ear was massive. I'm not sure if you remember it, but my ear was huge.
It was like sticking out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I remember I come off and the camera zoomed up right on my ear, and I was like, oh yeah, that's great for everyone at home. Like, and then I went back in the shed to try to get it drained again, and the blood wouldn't come out because the blood was too thick in my ear. So I had to go into surgery and they had to cut it open, and I missed a week for it. But that's kind of why I wear the head strap now.
Yeah, the head tape.
Yeah, I wore headgear at the end of last year, which looked a bit funny.
Yeah, but you'd rather wear the tape, hey?
Yeah, rather wear the
Definitely.
tape. Like I don't know if everyone just thinks I just wear it.
You look like a hard-nosed hooker when
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. I get that all the time.
I feel like if you're a halfback, you can't be wearing head tape.
Yeah,
like,
no. Yeah.
Imagine me wearing head tape. Like, no chance. Like
Tough carries.
I'm not tough enough to wear head tape.
But like that's what everyone thinks it's like for that reason.
For the look, but it's not. It's to hold
it's actual
your,
for function.
to hold the ear.
To hold the ear, and to I don't know why it does that, but it made a massive difference. Like
right.
I don't come off the field and my ear's not sore anymore, and my ear looks semi-healthy now since the surgery. So
there's a few other guys that wear head tape that come to mind. Like I think Josh Maguire from the Cowboys.
Yep.
I remember Matt McCurrick used to wear it.
McCurrick.
Jared Wallace from the Titans.
Yep, that's right.
He tapes his head up.
But the worst is like when you got blokes that wear it, if they got like long hair and they try to keep it out of their eyes, like just cut your hair. Yeah. You know, like that's different. But
I remember actually after that Melbourne game sitting on the plane, and I was sitting next to you, and I looked over at you, and you were just like sort of rattled. You were like sitting there, head down, like shaking your head, and I could just see your ear, and it was just red, so red and sore. Yeah. And I remember I took a photo of it and put it on my Instagram story and put like the little emoji, cauliflower, and then ear, and then I got a few messages of people saying like, "Oh, geez, that looks sore."
I remember that, yeah. But rugby league, what a game.
Just that's
Looks
what you get.
going down the toilet.
That's what you get. You get targeted in the middle. You put your head in the scrum, don't you?
Yeah, I know, 100%. Put the head in the scrum, get it bashed around.
Too many scrums. I'm happy I don't have to put my head in the scrum.
I know. I wish I could
stand there on the side and feed
100%. Feed them to me, and I would have bloody bobble it and dish it out.
Oh, all right, Brailz. Well, thanks so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's been good. I've been listening to a couple of your podcasts. So
it's been really
unreal. Love
enjoyable.
what you're doing, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Brailz. Appreciate it, and good luck next year. I wish you all the best at the Knights. Just when you play us, just be careful, mate.
Just don't look to your right when I'm coming from the inside.
If you come at me, I'm gonna drop a hip into your head.
I'm going to do the Mickey Ennis. Here, Teddy. See you later. No, it's seriously. I'm going to cop it left, right, and centre. Let's be honest. I'm going to cop it.
There'll be plenty of banter when we're playing. Yeah. I can't wait for it, actually.
My head's going to be falling off trying to think of comebacks. Yeah. I'm going to have a little tip sheet before going into the game. Not for what I'm going to do, but what I'm going to say. So
there'll be plenty of banter. It'll be good. We'll catch up. We'll catch up before or after the game anyway.
100%.
Thanks heaps for
come visit the new crib.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be keen to see it. All right. Well, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon. All right.
Thanks, Chetty.
And thank you, everyone, for listening today. I really enjoyed that episode with Brailz. And if you like the Talk of the Town podcast, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.